Guys, this is Jay. I heard you guys are getting Reaper on November, so I decided to make a guide for Thirst Reaper. This is a build where you go specialization, swiftness, half-half. So what specialization does for Reaper is that it increases your damage on your red skills, these four, and it helps you get more green gauge, this one. Not the red one, only the green gauge. And it also increases your awakening skill damage, just like all the other classes. And engravings are like this, guys. A Grudge, Ambushmaster, Raid Captain, Thirst, and Adrenaline. You guys might be wondering if I would have enough movement speed to make Raid Captain 18%, a flat 18% engraving when you go with specialization and swiftness half-half. But when you have 1k, close to like 1k swiftness, it gives you 18, close to 8% extra movement speed, and you can get the rest. You can get 10% extra movement speed from your supports when they have level 2 side effect. Also, when you go into this red state, which is called cat state, this increases your attack and movement speed by 10% each, and increases your crit rate by 15%. So, you get 18% from your stats, extra 10 from your supports, and then 10% from cat state. So that's close to 38%. So Raid Captain is a viable engraving, even if you go specialization and swiftness half-half. And for your 5/3+1, since you guys will be getting April normal very soon, and then April hard April hard a few months later, and then you guys will be able to get 5/3+1 even without 9/7 stones. So for 5/3+1, I recommend you guys add Ether Predator at the end. That does the most damage. But you can also go Crystal 3 instead of Adrenaline 3, and then use Adrenaline as level 1. When you get Increased Synergy, that one will be stronger than Ether Predator. So that's up to you to decide. If you have a setting where you can constantly get Increased Synergy, then Crystal 3 plus Adrenaline 1 will be better. But if that's not the case, if you always plug your raids, Adrenaline 3 plus Ether Predator will be better. Alright, moving on to gems. All your red skills, they get CDR plus damage. So that's 8 in total. And your Shadow Storm also gets CDR and damage. That's 10. And the last one, you gotta give a CDR gem to your Shadow Dot. This is a very important skill for Thirst Reaper. Right, I'll explain skills one by one. First one is Nightmare. You gotta give 10. You gotta make it level 10 in order to counter. This tripod allows this skill to counter the boss, so you need this. So you need this as level 10. This is a must, and I gave it bleed. This is your synergy, and this is a fast preparation. Go 1-3-1. So I've seen some people thinking the Reapers can counter the boss from any side, regardless of your position, but that's not true, because this skill allows you to move to the opposite side of the boss. So when you're like at side like this, you'll just go to the opposite side. But in order to make the counter, you gotta hit the boss on the head side, right? You have to make the counter like this with Nightmare, or you can just throw your Q to make the counter. Either way is fine, guys. Either way is fine. Okay, moving on to Shadow Dot. This one also gets the synergy. And this tripod is a fast preparation, and this is what makes Shadow Dot so important for Thirst Reaper, because if you have level 5 tripod, on this last tripod right here, it decreases your cooldown on your red skills by 1.9 seconds. Just like that. You guys saw that? Just like that. But since this is a combination skill, you can use it twice. What happens is that if you use it for the first time, you get the cooldown buff. If you go for the second attack, you can activate your synergy. First one for the cooldown, second one for the synergy. Just like that, guys. And I gave it legendary fast recharge, but I know that legendary fast recharge doesn't exist in an AU server, so go for like the purple one. For the purple one. Okay, next one, it's the distortion. I gave it, I made it level 7 and gave it Rage Rune, fast recharge, plus this tripod. This increases your movement speed by 20% for 3 seconds. But if you don't have enough skill points, just use distortion as level 4. That's also fine. That's fine, guys. So what distortion does is that it allows you to go through the boss, regardless of a named mob or a boss. Doesn't matter. You can just go through the boss, which allows you to do your back attacks very easy. This is why Reaper is very easy when it comes to doing back attacks, because you have 2 skills that allows you to instantly move to the back of the boss, just like that. I gave it Rage, but you can also use Purify. Maybe even another fast recharge. Doesn't really matter. But I gave it Rage because there's always a chance for your supports to die faster than you. So I gave it Legendary Rage to make it like an insurance to get my extra movement speed. Moving on to Shadow Storm. I gave it 3-3-2. This is fixed. You shouldn't use this one, even though this increases your crit rate. This tripod does more damage, so you gotta use 3-3-2 with legendary wealth. This is fixed, guys. This can increase the amount of gauge you gain, regardless of green and red. So this is important, man. Oh yeah, one thing about Shadow Storm is that I realized that, like, I recently realized that if you use Shadow Storm, you're not supposed to go through the boss. If you use it on a boss, you don't go through him. But if you use it on named mobs, you actually go through him. For example, the wolves in the first gate of Fulton, the named mobs in the first gate of Vicus, you actually go through those boss. And then I recently realized that you actually go through Fulton when he's in ghost phase. So be careful with that, guys. You might use Shadow Storm and go through Fulton and get caught and die, so be careful with that. Moving on to Lost Gravity. It goes like that, guys. You can use it to like get close to the boss when you're far away from him, and then do damage at the same time. It has level 1 part break and medium to high stagger, so just a very good skill, guys. And I gave it a purple Gale Wind with 2-3-1. This is fixed. This is fixed, guys. And then Rage Spear. You gotta give your legendary Gale Wind to this one. And the tripods are like this. 2-3-1. It's fixed, guys. This is your main DPS skills. And then Dancing of Fury. It's a 2-1-2. with Purple Gale Wind. Among your 4 red skills, this one has the least damage portion. So if you were to give, if you have, let's say if you have 3 level 9 gems, then you gotta give it to these 3, not this one. This one does the least damage among the red skills. But this one that also has a part break. So when you're doing Fulton, you gotta use this one, Lost Gravity, and Dancing of Fury to do your part breaks. And moving on to the Lost red skill, that's it's called Silence Measure, and you gotta give Legendary Overwhelm. And the tripods are like this: 3, 2, 1. You can instantly move like that. This is why Reaper is such a mobile class, guys. With so many mobility skills. Alright, I'll do the explanation on identity now. So, Thirst Reaper doesn't use Z, guys. That's only for Moon. So forget about your Z. All you have to do is to focus on how to get your gauge fast. Gauge filled ASAP, guys. But one thing I want to tell you is that once you use your Awakening, it instantly charges 1 bar, regardless of its color. When you have your green gauge filled, and then use your Awakening, then it's gonna instantly fill your red gauge. Show you guys again. Gotta get rid of the green gauge. Give me a sec. I got 0 green gauge, right? Use Awakening. You can instantly fill up with 1 bar, just like that. It's the same with the red gauge, guys. Just like that. So when you're out of both red and green, what I recommend you guys to do is to quickly build up your green gauge and then use your Awakening to fill up your red gauge. So use your Q. E will be filled, and then Awakening. Was Q. Distortion. Shadow Dot. Shadow Storm. And the order doesn't really matter. As long as you can get your green gauge filled ASAP, it doesn't matter. I think you can build those gauge even without using Distortion. But it takes a bit more time. So I recommend just use all these 4 to build up your green ASAP, and then activate your Awakening to get your red gauge filled, just like that. So in order for you to stay in that state, which is this red state, you're gonna hit your enemy with your green skills, dagger skills. It was 6 seconds. Once it's hit, it's 8 seconds again. Or use purple skills. You don't necessarily have to hit your enemies with your purples. You can just use it in the air, and then and you can still get to stay in the cast state, just like that. Hit your enemies with your dagger, green skills, or use purple ones, shadow skills in the air. That's how you stay in cast state. Okay, rotation. Since rotation, you don't really have a rotation, but there's one thing you should know about Thirst Reaper. Since you get, if you have fast recharge prepared for a Rage Spear, cooldown for these 2 will be almost the same. These 2 will be almost the same. So what you do in a real raid is that you gotta use these 2 as a pair, and then these 2 as a pair. But I know that in a real raid, like, it doesn't always go like that, but it will be better for you guys to use these 2 and these 2. E and F as a pair, and R and A as a pair. E and then Shadow Dot to get your cooldowns, and then R, A, Shadow Dot again to get your cooldowns again. Just like that, guys. Just like that. But the thing about Shadow Dot is that it could be when the boss got your synergy, when you use your synergy skill, you don't necessarily have to use the second one, because just by using the first shot of Shadow Dot, you can get your cooldown effect. So it'll be better for you to just use the first one and then move on to your next two red skills when you have the synergy on the boss. Alright guys, I really hope this guide was helpful. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, guys, of course, since this back attack class, you gotta go for Entropy. Okay, this is it for Thirst Reaper guide. Hope it was helpful. Hope you guys have a lot of fun playing this class. Okay, see you guys again on the next guide. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Thank you.